The opening day of a Premier League season at a club's home ground is always more than just a football match. It is a ritual of renewal, a cauldron of anticipation where the anxieties of the past are shed and the boundless optimism of a new campaign is collectively embraced. For Arsenal, the first home fixture against Leeds United was imbued with a significance that transcended even this customary fervour. It was the day Eberechi Eze was officially unveiled, and in that moment, the Emirates stadium became a theatre of catharsis. The pre-match presentation was a galvanizing event, a current of pure electricity that surged through the fan base and rippled across the wider footballing world. Here was a story of almost mythical proportions, the local boy released from the Hale End Academy as a teenager, returning not as a squad player, but as a bona fide superstar, the creative fulcrum around which a title challenge was to be built. It was a fairy tale scripted for the modern age. As Eze, draped in the iconic red and white, smiled for the cameras, every Arsenal fan knew, instinctively, that he was one of them. The sheer delight was palpable. It was the feeling of a narrative arc finding its perfect, triumphant completion. Mikel Arteta, ever the pragmatist, had framed the signing in tactical terms, but even he could not ignore the emotional weight of the occasion. He confirmed that Eze rang him to explore whether Arsenal were interested in signing him as he stood on the brink of finalising a move to North London rivals Tottenham. Arteta referred to his signing as, "The decision was one of the quickest, the talent is unquestionable, and this is the manifestation of where we want to take this club." Every Arsenal fan knows in Eze, Arsenal have signed more than just an elite attacker. We have signed a story of resilience and belief. He represents each one of us because he is one of us and always was one of us. That journey gives him a hunger that is different. Now that energy must be channeled into what we do on the pitch. With that, the narrative preamble was over. The performance had to begin. From the kickoff, the Emirates was a festival of noise and colour, the stands a roiling sea of expectation. Arsenal, predictably, started on the front foot, their possession-based game immediately pinning Leeds back. Yet for the first 25 minutes, the attack was more probing than penetrating. Credit must be given to Daniel Farke's newly promoted side. They were not mere sacrificial lambs. Their newfound resolution was evident in a physically robust, compact defensive block that diligently plugged any nascent gaps Arsenal sought to exploit. The home side, sensing the need for a different approach, began to adopt a more direct nascent strategy. Martin Odegaard, Bukayo Saka, and the new boy Noni Madueke started testing the goalkeeper from range, while Martin Zubimendi, from his deep-lying pivot role, wasn't afraid to stride forward and unleash efforts of his own. This shift led to a succession of corners. Just as the pre-game jubilation was threatening to curdle into minor restlessness, Declan Rice stepped up. With a wand of a right foot, he drilled a vicious in-swinging delivery into the 6-yard box. Rising highest was Jurrien Timber, whose powerful header nestled into the back of the net, breaking the deadlock and releasing the collective tension in a roar of relief. With the nerves settled, Arsenal's football began to flow. Just before the half-time whistle, a lightning-quick transition saw Zubimendi and Timber conspire to release Bukayo Saka in behind the Leeds defence. Arsenal's star boy took one touch before unleashing a thundershot across the goalkeeper with his right foot, a strike that has become his devastating trademark. That's 2-0. Everything appeared to be going to plan until, around that time, first Odegaard, and then early in the second half, Saka were withdrawn with what appeared to be minor injury concerns, a precautionary measure that nonetheless sent a murmur of anxiety through the crowd. This is where the new Arsenal, the one forged with unprecedented squad depth, would be tested. There remain, of course, some teething problems as new personnel bed in. Madueke, while a constant threat with his pace and trickery, occasionally overran the ball, but the directness he brings is a potent new weapon. The midfield duo of Rice and Zubimendi, however, looked as though they had played together for years, operating in perfect chorus. When one sat back to dictate play, the other surged forward, a symbiotic relationship of power, intelligence, and technique, reminiscent of Spain's national team pivot of Zubimendi himself with his partner Rodri. Out went the two talismans, in came teenage prodigy Ethan Nwaneri and the reliable Leandro Trossard. In previous years, a two-goal lead and the loss of key players would have seen Arsenal apply the handbrakes, retreating into a low-margin game of preservation. Not this team. A slick passage of one-touch football culminated in new left-back Riccardo Calafiori, a maverick in his own right, lobbing an audacious pass into the space of the left channel for Viktor Gyökeres to chase. When Gyökeres ran into that channel, and let me remind you, that is his personal hunting ground, no one could have envisioned what was to come. He cut inside, drove with terrifying purpose through a slew of defenders, and slotted the ball into the near post, the goalkeeper frozen to the spot. The Emirates erupted as the iconic masked celebration came out. The big Swede was off the mark. This goal was emblematic of a tactical rewiring. Arsenal are unlearning the habit of playing exclusively to feet, and are now learning to feed a striker who thrives on balls played into space. The signs are there, and mind you, the star striker is still not up to his full match fitness. As the celebration subsided, Arsenal won another corner in the 54th minute, and as the story now goes with this team and set pieces, a fourth goal arrived. In the ensuing scramble, it was Jurrien Timber again who found a way to bundle the ball home. You can only feel happy for Timber, an elite, underrated player. He is one of a handful of defenders in world football who is as comfortable at centre-back as he is at left-back or right-back, a master of both the underlap and the overlap. He is a leader in every sense. To make the occasion even sweeter, 15-year-old Max Doman was introduced. He played with a precocious audacity, his body feints and shuffles mesmerizing the Leeds defense. With a piece of slick footwork, he drew an undeniable penalty. Up stepped Gyökeres, a deadly specialist from the spot, who confidently dispatched it for his second of the game. 5-0. A demolition job, the club's biggest Premier League home win since May 2023. A great day, marred only by the injury scares to Saka and Odegaard. So this was a day to remember, especially for the Arsenal folklore. It began with the emotional homecoming of Eze, a story that provides inspiration for every young player, a testament to the power of belief and hard work. It ended with a performance that showcased a squad strength unseen at the club in perhaps 2 decades, a squad unequivocally built to challenge for the highest honours. Of course, a degree of caution is necessary. This was, after all, a newly promoted Leeds United side, but the manner of the victory was a powerful statement. Arteta later commented on Gyökeres, explaining how our job is to facilitate him. When he has space to attack, he is a superpower, and we must learn to unleash that power more and more. This sentiment extends to the entire team. The Arsenal universe, the symbiotic relationship between the players, the manager, and the fans, is creating a dividend of support, a positive feedback loop that is building an unstoppable momentum. This hurdle has been emphatically cleared. Now the next stop is Anfield, a true test of their mettle against the reigning champions. To beat Liverpool, Arsenal will have to be even better. After a day like this, you wouldn't bet against them.
A result to cherish, a day to remember, and a place to be as we look forward in the future. Arsenal are here, and now is the time. Let's get together and create a momentum to make the prized possession of those big trophies at the end of the season undeniable. Thanks for tuning in. You are watching the Arsenal Blueprint, and that was the story of that eventful day at the Emirates. Like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to press the notification button. We'll be back soon. Thanks again for watching, and as the saying goes, let it all work out. Come on the Arsenal.